when you are 14 years old or 16 or 17 and you don't want to get out of the bed. It's like there is a red light that in your car that says, this guy has negative emotions. He doesn't want to do things to conquer the world, to
Yeah.
manifest his values, his attributes, to show his own inner powers, to do something in the world. He wants what? That everyone close the door, close the windows. I want to be in the dark room. I want to stay by myself. I don't want to get out. I don't want to meet nobody. Usually, when you don't want to meet anyone else, that means you are suffering from anxiety, from low self-esteem. So doesn't matter, kind of from depression, from some kind of sadness. What's the difference between depression and sadness? It's only the volume,
Mm-hmm.
how high it is. So those are the negative emotions, the one that do not listen to their role and take you instead of forward, backward.
Welcome back to the show, Yehiel Harari. I'm so excited to have another conversation with you. This is our second conversation after we talked in our former interview, which I will link in the show notes below, about generally what are emotions, what is discipline, what is the role of a parent in a child's life. And it was a very deep and insightful conversation. And today I'm really excited to dive into understanding what negative emotions are and where they come from and what we can do about them as parents.
Hello, Efrat. Great to be here. Thank you very much for everything. Negative emotions. At the beginning, we have to start with the idea of what are negative emotions. Can you really call emotions negative? If you have, this is the Baal Shem Tov kind of saying, if your emotions, doesn't matter what are their trajectory, they're trying to tell you something. So if you say those are negative emotions, that means you don't need them, they are bad for you. Sometimes you're suffering from something, from anxiety, from envy. We spoke about in our last Hebrew lesson about being envy. Envy, it's a very silent emotion that penetrates into you and and slowly grabs you and takes from you your ability to live life, because you want others' lives. You want the lives of another person. You don't want your own life. And slowly, without even noticing, you don't appreciate your life, your spouse, your parents, your child, doesn't matter whom, your work, because you want another life. So it's very, very subtle emotion. So are there any negative emotions? And I think we are touching the major, I won't say contradiction, but major difference between modern psychology, which is very young, to Jewish psychology. Jewish psychology says that you have negative emotions. Negative emotions are those that do not fulfill. We spoke a little bit about it before, last time we met, but negative emotions are those that do not fulfill their target, their aim, their role. The emotions has a role. The role is to get you out of yourself, to connect you to other, to push you forward. If your emotion leaves you in your place. Yeah, the emotions. How do I know? We have to a little bit to clarify that. You know your emotions through your thoughts. You understand your emotions through your thoughts. Without contemplating on your thoughts, you won't be able to see your emotions. It's like you see your thoughts, you can hear them, you can listen to them, you can view them. That means that I'm not my thoughts. It's a bit of meditation, of Jewish meditation, and then you understand according to your thoughts what are your emotions. When I'm thinking about my wife and I'm missing her, that means I'm loving her. If I don't think about my wife, that means that I'm less loving her. She's not in my head. I do not mean that you all of the time have to think this is obsession, but if you're going to, I don't know, to some kind of 2 weeks walk trip somewhere far away from your wife, and you don't think about her, that means that you are not in love with her in this moment, because
Mm.
the thoughts are the part that reveals your emotions. So there are emotions. The part of the role of the emotion is to keep you connected. That's the whole idea. It's a very Jewish idea, and it's very it's an idea that connected to Jewish belief, because godliness going according to Jewish belief. You will tell me how much I can get into the Jewish belief, and it's not only Jewish; it's a universal belief that what God wants from this world, doesn't matter if you're a Jew or not, is being connected. And
Mhm.
when you are angry, when you are disgust from some kind of, when you have anti-Semitism, or doesn't matter what kind of hate you have in yourself. Somebody took from you something. You are not connected to something. That doesn't matter in which way it comes to you. You are not connected. And the way you reveal infinite godliness in this world, it's through connections. And connections means I love someone. I have an emotion for him. I feel him. I have empathy to him. That is why it's so important. We don't let's keep apart places and times that somebody did to you something odd, and you have to put boundaries, and you have to overcome, and you have to reject them. This is another conversation. But the idea is that you walk in the world and you love. You love your life. You love your spouse. You love friends. You love people. You're not full of hatred. It's like you're getting into social media. It's a lot of hate. So this hatred, it's negative. Why? Because instead of keeping you full of vitality, you are full of stress and tension. And instead of understanding, meeting people, listening to people, learn from them, we have so many opportunities to meet very unique people through our walking in the way. The Zohar, the most interesting and deep Kabbalistic and very famous Kabbalistic. Madonna even learned the Zohar a little bit. I don't know if she really learned the Zohar, but the most important Kabbalistic literature is the Zohar. It's like the ancient Kabbalistic Zohar. And in every page, they're speaking about walking in the way. The
Mhm.
sages were walking. Why? Because through walking, you meet people, you see things. And if all of the people that you see are just bothering you in getting your purpose, you're losing. You're losing the idea of the creation, the idea of being alive. Being alive is seeing people. What is doing business? Business is all about connections, all
Mhm.
about psychology. Psychology is about positive emotions that push you to meet other people, to see their needs, what problems they have that you can solve. And when you understand that, you can bring to them your qualifications, what you have to bring to the table in order at the end you make money because you are bringing good things, value to the world. So this is it's all about everything in this life. It's about positive emotions. Positive emotions are the one that push you forwards, that you wake up in the morning and you want y- we we spoke about teenagers a little bit. When you are 14 years old or 16 or 17 and you don't want to get out of the bed, it's like there is a red light that in your car that says this guy has negative emotions. He doesn't want to do things to conquer the world, to
Yeah.
manifest his values, his attributes, to show his own inner powers, to do something in the world. He wants what? That everyone close the door, close the windows. I want to be in the dark room. I want to stay by myself. I don't want to get out. I don't want to meet nobody. Usually, when you don't want to meet anyone else, that means you are suffering from anxiety, from low self-esteem. So doesn't matter, kind of from depression, from some kind of sadness. What's the difference between depression and sadness? It's only the volume.
Mhm.
how how high it is. So those are the negative emotions, the one that do not listen to their role and take you instead of forward backward. That's why we have to really understand those emotions. And if I said this is the major contradiction difference between psychology and Jewish psychology. Jewish psychology tells you understand those negative emotions and be aware of them. They are there. They're waiting for you. You want, but try to overcome them. See them as a part of something that tries to take you down, and you want to get up. You want to go higher. You want to push yourself higher. And if you will embrace them, and you'll say to yourself, "Okay, let me be a little bit in anxiety." So the anxiety, you said the character of anxiety is that it wants to. It's like in the thoughts, it wants to control you. it will
Mhm.
be get bigger and bigger. I want to be a little bit. Let me stay sad a little bit. From this small sadness, you will be in depression in a few weeks. So be aware and try to stop it before it will develop into depression.
Yeah. So so positive emotions are the one that drive you forward
Hmm.
and also drive you to connection.
Hmm. That's
And the
right.
negative ones are the ones that keep you stuck and keep you disconnected
Hmm.
from others, from the
Beautiful.
world, from God, whatever. So I'm just reading your book right now, the
Which one?
Winning Every Moment.
It's a good. Okay, it's not fair that I'm not objective. Can't say about myself, but I think it's a good book.
It is a very good book. And in that book, you talk about how there are the garments of the soul, which
Hmm.
are the thoughts, actions, and words.
Hmm.
And there is the soul itself, which is the emotions and the body. No, not the body.
There is something higher than that. There is me before even I have any inner powers. Before my garments, it's my thoughts, as you say. My it's there is me without unconditionally me. So this
Hmm.
is it's called the substance, the your inner value that is not is it's you. This is the most. It's very hard to understand that because we can appreciate things through measuring them. Now,
Yeah.
here you're being called not to measure something, just be. You can value yourself, you can appreciate yourself, you can love yourself, even if you did nothing in your life, even if now you're completely failure. But there is a place, if God created you, if you are being, if you are created, because every moment you are being created again and again and again. And if you are being created, that means I love you. Somebody loves you. Somebody wants to give you power. That you have value. That you have something to bring to the world. This is the higher. What is the soul? The soul is what animates the body. What brings life to the body. So when you understand that, there is the attributions of the soul, the powers of the soul that animates the body, and there is the essence of the soul. The essence of the soul is what you're talking about.
So I think what psychology maybe the way that psychology understands negative emotions is that positive and negative emotions, it's all you. So we want to accept the all of you. That is
Mm.
why we want to accept also the negative emotions. And when we say that we don't want to accept the negative emotions, what we're actually implying is that I'm not accepting you when I'm not accepting your negative emotions. So how is that different from the Jewish thought?
That's beautiful. I want to say to my child, when you acted in a violent way, it wasn't you. That's what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say. If, according to what you said, it's you, and I'm hugging you in both of your sides. You have your positive side, you have your negative side. I'm hugging everything. What I'm trying to say, the negative side, the violent way that you acted to your sister, doesn't matter what you did, it's not you. Inside of you, there is something else. In Hebrew, in the Kabbalistic literature, it is called different side, sitra acha. It's like
Hmm.
it's not you. When you have the worst thing that a man can do, that human being can do, is believing his thoughts. The thoughts are running without stop, and they take you to all kinds of places. And sometimes you try to little bit you believe your thoughts. Whoa, I'm like that. Wow, if somebody will really knew what is going on in my mind, he will think I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm really crazy. Maybe I should change. I'm not qualified. Then you start to not believe yourself, and then you start to think that there is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in you. And what Jewish psychology says, it's not you. There is something. There is a power. There is some kind of power that gives you animates, give you liveliness, but it's not really you. It's the bad side in you, the egocentric side of you. But what that's the I think it's another major difference, because if you'll get inside the soul of any human being, you will find pure loveliness, love, beautiful soul. You will find inside of him any child. If you'll get inside of him, you will find something beautiful. According to psychology, saying psychology, there are so many philosophers, psychologists, ways of thinking. But let's say, according to Freud, what what there is in you? There is craving, there is passion, there is lust, there is, the human being. It's not something beautiful,
Mhm.
lovely, that you can really appreciate. I have very odd example. I saw about 3 years ago a picture of there were 24 Nazis, Germans that ran Auschwitz. As you know, I don't know if all of our listeners knows, but about a million Jews were massacred, killed, burned, um, in all kinds of unbelievable ways, were tortured. Million Jews died, were murdered in Auschwitz, and only 24 Germans ran the whole operations, and they have a lot of Ukrainians that did everything. And I saw a picture of them, very young. Most of them were very young, sitting together. In the back of them, they had all those, they had the camp, and they were like hugging together, and this is evil. What is evil? Evil is that you don't see someone else. You don't have even
Mhm.
emotion to him.
Mhm.
Evil. When I'm walking in the street and I don't see someone that needs for me help, it's a kind of evil. It's not the evil of the Germans. It's not the evil of the Nazis, but it's a kind of evil. But if you penetrate into them, I'm sure that if I now, 75 years later, 8 years later, we'll sit with those, take them forward in a time tunnel, and they will sit with me to a coffee. You will find, and they won't be full of hatred. I don't really think they hated Jews. They just thought Jews are nothing. So you can kill them, obliterate
Yeah.
them, demolish them. So if I would sit with one of them, he could be a great guy, great friend. Inside of him, there is something very cute, but evil that he does not see me. He didn't see Jews back then. So this is evil. So, but inside of every evil, that's a part of the understanding of the creation, there is something good, and you have to tear it up inside of you, inside of each one of us. Let's get back to normal examples, not the example of the Auschwitz, but normal examples. Sometimes you are you have evil in you. You are waiting in some you are in the bank, and the person that tells you, oh, I need to go to the toilet, or I have something. No, it's now I am in the line now. It's my turn now. Now you have to stay, and or you're in the supermarket. You think about yourself. You don't think about her, that she needs to do something. You don't see her. She's like the computer and her. This is a kind of evil. You don't want to harm her, but you don't care about her. So there are all kind of evil in us, and evil, it's not the real us. And if you change your way of life, your way you see things, you want to look at your child and not see them bad ways, the negative thoughts that he have, the negative emotion. You want to see what he can be, his
Mhm.
potential, and his potential is great. That's the whole idea. And there is potential in everywhere. That's why you can walk in the world, and that's it's very strong belief that you can walk in the world, not today, back then in 1945, and see that even though this what I'm saying now, Rabbi Arayatz, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak said, even though he lost almost all his family, all his disciples in the Holocaust, even though he believed that the world, it's a beautiful place, it's a garden. But you have, you have to find it. You have to look. It's very concealed. It's That's the idea in our soul and in the world, as in the whole world.
So now I think I'm gonna give you the $1,000,000 question.
Hey.
Where does those negative thoughts come from? If they're not us, where do they come from?
One place, one place. Me. It will be a kind of contradiction, but we will solve it in a moment.
Mhm.
All the negative emotions comes from one place. What are emotions? Emotions I want to feel. I want to be. It's all about me. What is let's say anxiety? When I think about what will happen, how will I manage things? I want to control the future. Then comes anxiety. Anxiety is the feeling, the emotion, the emotion that I want to control the future. What will happen? And nobody can control the future. You cannot control what will happen because that's the way eh, any human being, doesn't matter if you're a Jew or not, religious or not, you cannot control what will happen. Confidence, it's a different, it's, I believe that the future conceals for me good things, and I will be able to manage to face everything, every challenge that I will be facing. I will be able to overcome it. This is confidence. I'm sure that good things will happen. So the more I am thinking about myself, it's like the real me. It's not me. The real me. It's a soul that connected. Leave it a moment. The more in a moment we'll get into it. The more I'm busy with myself, the more negative emotions will arose in me. The more I think about, oh, I'm already 35, I didn't do nothing, I'm not influencing. All over the world, after Viktor Frankl, people are going and saying, and asking themselves, I'm influencing, I'm not influencing, I'm an influencer, not social media influencer, I'm doing something which is with what value, and it's killing them, those questions. Why? And they are not getting out of it. Why? Because they're thinking only about themselves. It's all about them. It's all about the way I think about the world, the way what will be with me. So it gets them into depression. Being an influencer, it's all about not thinking about yourself. It's
Mm.
all about thinking about what you are influencing, what you are giving, giving something to making other person a leader, making other person happy, smiling, whatever. It's giving something to another person, and it's not about you. And when you start getting back, I spoke with a very famous comikai,
Comedian.
comedian in Israel, and he said, I'm getting out of the down from the stage and I'm thinking about how I was. And I told him, nobody cares about about you. It's all about what they got from you. If they
Hmm.
are happy, if they, got something. When I'm getting out down from after a lecture, it's not about me. I'm not important there. What is important is if I delivered something, idea, a point of view, example, doesn't matter what, that make another person think, change his life, adopt a different point of view, being happy, changes perspective to his wife, to his life, to change not only the perspective, the way he's acting, the way he understands himself. That's the most that is being influencing. And if you are thinking about what about me, how I was, then you're losing everything. Why? Because you are getting back to yourself, and you'll feel depression a little bit, mania depressia. At the beginning, you were, a singer is suffering from mania depressia. Why? Because he's on the stage and it's all about him. No, it's not about you. You have only a role here. So all the negative emotions come from me. We said depression, we said anger. They are not doing what I want. So I want to eliminate their presence in a way. It's all about me. Okay, emptiness. I don't feel nothing. It's about you. You have your life mission. People are waiting for you. Your mother is waiting for you. Your child is waiting for you. They're waiting for you to bring, to smile at home, to bring happiness. And what about you? You are thinking about yourself. So it's all the negative emotions come from too much I, and the emotions are they manifest themselves. They are being I was they are manifest. They are being, they articulate themselves through the thoughts. So negative thoughts, undesirable thoughts are a lot of yourself. You're full of yourself, and the result is speak with someone that is suffering from um, anxiety, or someone is suffering. You spoke with someone that is now in depression. What he is speaking about?
About himself.
Only about himself.
Yeah.
Only about himself. You cannot. You tell him, let's see something. Let's talk about. No, but I. Why? Because he is the only thing that matters, and he does not really want to be an influencer. He want to be a receiver. He want people to appreciate him. He want somebody that everyone will give him applause. That's what he really wants, and he will never get out of it if he won't be able to change the way he thinks.
So the thoughts come before the emotions.
No, the thoughts are a garment. What is a garment? It's a clothes.
Mhm.
They have no content. The thoughts, they have nothing. The thoughts can be changed every moment. You cannot. Every moment you have a different garment, whatever you think. But there is an engine inside of you that looking for a garment, looking for something. Because think about it: if your emotions will be revealed to you without this barrier of thoughts, then it would be, I wouldn't be able I wouldn't be able to live life, because all the emotions will be so strong. So the active role of the thoughts is to minimize the emotions, to make them not so strong as think about someone that saw something that was very hard. He saw an accident. He saw, I don't know, so he cannot speak. He cannot think. He's very traumatic, because the emotions try to overcome, to control the thoughts. The thoughts as a role to minimize a little bit my emotions. So the emotions want to manifest themselves. They want um, um, to show themselves, to screen themselves in my life, and the thoughts are stopping them a little bit. How? I really want to know what people think about my English. I really want to know. I really want to know what people think about that, and what will happen to me. I really want to know. No, I control my thoughts. I navigate my thoughts. I do not think about what will happen. Then this emotions is a little bit, is being minimized, is getting out of, in Hebrew you call emotions measurements, midot.
Mhm.
Why? Because if they get out of the measurement, if they are so strong, they control you. So you have to minimize them a little bit to put them back in the place. So they won't, be so strong, and they will conceal other attributes that you have. Because when you are in anger, which kind of attributes in your life do not work? Which kind of power you don't reveal in your life? Your mind. You don't think clearly.
Mhm.
You can do things that nobody told me. But think for a moment. And when you have, you ask. We said we talked at the beginning about the difference between measurements in Hebrew, midot, and emotions. In Hebrew, measurements, midot, they have a more broad appeal. They, usually when you say about emotions, you don't really include craving, lust, or losing time doing nothing. It's also some kind of emotion.
Mm.
So it's emotion. If I have a craving to something, strong craving, it's an emotion in Hebrew. Emotion that push you to this thing. What you don't think about? You don't think about nothing. I have this craving, a sexual craving or craving to food. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you, but still you are, but it's not healthy for you. Your mind is now shut down. It does not work. That's why we have to minimize the emotion and navigate them. The role of the mind is to be a guide to the emotion. The mind cannot control the emotion, but it can tell you, the mind, the knowledge that you have, your perspective. It tells you, oh, there is something very unique. I have to think about it, and I have to. He's very a clever guy, so maybe we'll reveal love to him. Maybe we'll want to hear from him. So the mind tells you, it's like when you're trying to buy something. You go to buy. I'm trying a new Mac. Okay, there is something very, um, very. You ask yourself, according to the ability of the Mac, if I really need them. This is a very, it's not emotional buying. It's not emotional purchase, but there is emotional purchase that I'm trying to be. I'm being connected to that. I'm thinking about, oh, I'll use that Mac and I'll do it at that. Then I won't get stuck. And now I'm thinking about myself doing it. It's a lot more emotional, and emotional purchase. It's stronger, because the emotion now, they are the one that leads you through the trajectory of purchasing something.
So you walk around in the world, and there are different emotions that arise in you, and your thoughts are there to help you
Mm,
minimize the emotions, or
beautiful.
on the other hand, they can actually make them stronger
You caught the point.
to places that you don't want them to go. So I have a question for you. It comes from somatic world, also from psychology. there is there is a sense of regulating emotions. And the way that you regulate emotions is by, a lot of it is body work, is by taking a deep breath, feeling your feet on the ground, looking around, seeing that you're still in your surroundings, connecting to your surroundings. There are different methods that you can use in order to regulate yourself. And also there is the part of the mind. What are you thinking? Try to see what your thoughts are, and fo- uh, follow some kind of mantra. I am safe. Everything is okay. That is a part of regulating the emotions. Um, and I think that from this point of view, the body is so overwhelmed where you have to do something very active in order to regulate it. Is it the same thing in Jewish thought, or
Um,
is it different?
it's the, it's the same. We have different stages of working on yourself. First stage, it's what you mentioned. It's like taking against headache, a pill negative headache. It's something very fast that you are doing, but you did not change yourself. What do we mean? Think of that. Now I have undesirable emotions that control me. They manifest themselves in the thoughts. I want to, if I change the thoughts, because this is the place that I know my emotions, if I change the thoughts, I can change my emotions. But it's very hard because they're trying to control me. So now I'm trying to do very fast shift of what I'm doing, and cleaning the house, getting outside, running, doesn't matter. Meditate through not thinking about myself. Everything that will take me from thinking about myself. If we took the anxiety example, not thinking about the future, or self-accusation, not thinking about the past, then I'll get a relief, a short relief. It will be why, because the trick is that you can think only one thought in a moment, not in a moment, every time. Doesn't matter
Hmm.
if it's a moment. You can think only one thought. And if I'm choosing this thought, then I'm choosing what to feel. And if I'm choosing now to not to think, not to think? I'm thinking, but I'm thinking about, doing the dishes, or thinking about something very small. I'm not thinking about the present or the past or the future. I'm not letting all the confusement, all the ideas, all the things getting into my head. It's like I'm doing something very small. I'm working. I'm meditating. It's like it's choosing the thought that you want and staying in the moment. It's a very strong thing, but it's very a short period of relief, because you didn't change yourself. You didn't learn how to change your perspective, how to navigate your emotions. You didn't really learn all those things. Just got a kamal for the short period of time. That's what you did. So this is the first stage. It's very important. If you are crazy from anger about someone, go do something else. Go do something else. Don't do nothing that is connected. But it's very hard. You know what is hard? Because inside of us, we want what the emotions want. What are emotions? It's about me. And I want to justify myself. I want the connection. I want to tell you, you were bad, what you did to me. Da, 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 da. I want to throw it. No, stop throwing. No, but because I want to feel, I want to say, there is some kind of pleasure in it. The pleasure is high. I was offended because what she told me, and she told me that and that, and I'm thinking about it, and how he treated me, and now I deserve a better, more respect, and I deserve a better husband. Doesn't matter. In all kind of voices, will come to you, and it won't let you change the thoughts and change what you're doing. Why? Because it wants you to get down. This what we called it, the other side of you, the sitracha. Doesn't matter. So this is the first phase. It's very important. It's very hard. You need to use it when you are suffering right now from in psychology there are all kinds of name to that, but in Jewish thought, in Jewish psychology, it's like it's wicked thoughts, because they have only one purpose: to control you. The emotions behind the thoughts want to control you. A second stage is that you are learning. You're learning what kind of thoughts will bring you will um, uh, are a result of of negative emotions, and you know that don't want those emotions in your life. then you say, I don't want them. A very important thing to understand that this inner battle that we're speaking about, it's not a punishment. It's not that you did something bad. People should understand that this is the way everyone have been created. When I understood that, I smiled and I said, wow, now understand I'm not the only one that has craziness is in his mind. Everyone has that in different, perspective, different manifestation, different ways. This one think about the food that he didn't eat. This one think about what other people told him. This one think about the respect he didn't get, etc., etc. So when I understood that this is the moment that you have to overcome. This is the one moment of winning. You have to win this moment.
Mhm.
Very important. So it's not a bug, it's a feature. That's the idea. It's a feature that each one of us has to understand that, because it gives you a lot of power. Otherwise, you think about yourself, if from the beginning you embrace those aspects in you, so you say, oh, come on, this guy is a dumb. I'm a dumb. I'm not only dumb, I'm something, I'm damaged. Something is wrong with me. I'm not good because all of these thoughts. Think about a child that has now thoughts of, wow, at the age of 16. He thinks that he's damaged. He cannot control himself. He says, I'm not worthy of nothing because what is happening in my mind. And when you understand this is the battle that you have to overcome, but it's not really him. So it's a different self-estimation now. Okay, I have decided trying to jump on me all of the time, but it's not me. It's not me. I'm smiling to him. This is the second phase. Say, okay, I'm smiling. I understand you. I won't let those small thoughts, in Hebrew it's called irurim, those first initial thoughts. Somebody that just started to jump to your mind. We're sitting here, what people think about me, why I don't have enough followers. And doesn't matter, it will happen when you have 500 followers or 5,000 followers or 40,000 followers. It doesn't matter. Jordan Peterson was was hospitalized about 3, 4, 5 years ago all over Europe. Why? Where come this depression from? Because you're thinking, maybe I'm not influencing enough. Maybe people do not understand me, do not really appreciate me. Doesn't matter the numbers, even though you're very influential. Doesn't matter the numbers. If you have millions of followers, it will always come to you that you're not good enough, something you're not doing well, that you deserve something else, that either you deserve, either you do not deserve. So let's get back to the question. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So we talked about two steps, and I want us to maybe translate this now into parenting.
mm,
So our children,
it's so
especially when
important
they,
to teach your children those ideas. It's so important.
yes, absolutely. And I think if we understand it as parents
Mm.
first, and of
Mhm.
course, we first have to work on ourselves, right? Like the
Mm.
first is us, but and then we teach our children. But let's take a scenario, because children, especially when they're young, up until age 5, 6, their emotions are very, very big,
Hmm.
very big, and they
Why?
don't
Why?
have
I
yet,
just want to ask you why.
because their mind is not strong enough. Their intellect is not strong enough. Their prefrontal cortex is not developed.
And
They cannot, they don't have, basically they don't have thoughts. They're just in the moment all the time, in their body, feeling everything very strongly.
maybe if I can add another sentence, and you'll say if you agree with me with that or not. The emotions of a child is so strong because there is a lot of I there. He's
Yes.
so filled with himself. It's a baby gets out of the world. There is no mother, nobody else. It's only him, and it is written in Yov. And what is a grown up baby? He's a person that is 40 years old, but is thinking only about himself. And you said correctly, you don't have the mind to navigate the emotions and to minimize them and to put them in the right way. I can handle a little bit of depression, a little bit of sadness, but I cannot handle when it's whelming me with such a power. Sorry
Yeah.
for stopping you.
No, no. And it's actually it's a good thing. It's a natural thing because they have to
Mhm,
demand what they need from us because they're dependent on us
mhm,
100%. And then as they grow up a little bit, their minds start to develop, they're able to understand more,
mhm,
rationalize more what's happening to them. But again, also children even 10, 11, of course 14, 15, 16, emotions overwhelm them all the time.
mhm,
So we talked about the first step, right? Where is okay, what do you do in this moment right now when your child is overwhelmed with emotions and you're trying to convey to them that this is not you? This is the other part that we talked about. How do
I,
we how can we teach them that in the moment, and what do we do between those moments to help them help strengthen that in them?
I think that you're right that there are two trajectories that we must adopt. The first one is the life-saving, first help that you must bring to your child, and the second one is to teach him, to learn with him. It's so important thing to learn. It's called coaching, mental coaching for children. What does it mean? That he knows what are emotions, what we spoke from the beginning of our conversation, not only knowing but even having a feeling that it's a part of his life. What are emotions, what are thoughts, how do I identify undesirable emotions, how do I identify undesirable thoughts, how do I know that an undesirable thought is coming to me, what kind of thoughts I don't want to think about. And this is the long term working with childhood. It's like, what the thoughts that I don't want to adopt, and what are the substance, what do I allow to think on. And I know when I'm thinking about the result of the test that I'm going to have next week, the result of the exam that I'm going to have next week. So I will be in a lot of pressure. And when I'm pressure, the child must understand that. When I'm pressure, I understand less. I don't really, I don't see the picture. Why? Because my mind is not working well. So
Yeah.
the child must understand that. Doesn't matter from the age of 3, understand all of the attributes, all of the inner powers that you have in his soul, the way his soul is being constructed, the same way that you teach your child what to eat and what not to eat. You teach him, no, okay, too much sugar, it's not bad, it's not good for you, don't eat that. And you teach him, and you let him choose, and you understand the benefits of the good food. The same he must do in understanding his what is beneath his under the soul, to understand his soul, to understand everything is working, to understand
Yeah.
his life, to understand his thoughts. So this is
Yeah.
the long way, and the short way is now take him out of this place that is full of thoughts about yourself, and try with a few techniques, give him um, um, a role to do, give him some kind of uh, things that he has to do that is not about him, that like he must do something, but it's not around him. Give him a role in the class. You know that if you give the role to the child that is doing all the bad things in the classes, you cannot handle him. Give him a role. Okay, I have something. I'm important. I'm doing something important. It's very important for me. It's like I have value. When you have value, you start to appreciate yourself differently, and you are stop thinking about yourself, because what is value? Value, it's not about you. Value, it's about what other people need from me. So now we have responsibility, and to give the child responsibility, it's a very important thing. Responsibility, it's not what you are responsible, and it's about you. People need you. You have
Yeah.
thing to do. So the more you understand that, and the more you have a role, you are planning the trip that we're gonna have tomorrow to the north, or doesn't matter. You are planning, you are choosing. So now he has value, now he has responsibility, now he stop thinking about himself, and teach him. And it's very important not to be afraid of failures, because when you think about what you're doing in the lenses of I am, what my parents will think about me, what my friends will think about me, it will never be authentic. It will always be controlled by his thoughts, because he's always thinking through what other people thinks. So the emotions controls him. What is so important to get out of it, and you get out of it when you're ready to pay the price. To be a failure doesn't matter. You can fail. It's okay to fail.
Yeah.
Embrace that, but be you. Be you. That means, what is be you? Ask yourself what the moment need from you, and not what your thoughts gets you to, what other people thinks about you, how you will be, what will be with you. If I won't succeed in this exam, I will won't be able to pay back the loan that I took to learning that I want as a student. You cannot think like that. And I came to I had a big lecture in a lot in front of 500 business people about um, how to break through in the businesses. That was the name of the. And somebody came, a very rich person came to me and said, and very rich and famous and known, said, "Oh, okay, this is your test now. Now all the eyes, all the big shots in this area are waiting to see what you have to say. And if your lecture won't be good, it's like, he says something like, I told him, you cannot go on a stage and think like that
Mm-hmm.
because it's a clear way to lose. You cannot
Yeah.
be a player, a basketball player, and think what everyone will think about me. You have to be concentrating what you are saying. If it will be a good or not, I don't know. If you like it or not, it's yours. I'm trying to be my best, to do my best, to bring my value, the things that I got ready to them, that I learned. If you will appreciate that and you like it, it's not mine, and I cannot
Yeah.
think that way. That's
Yeah.
why that's why you get yourself out of the middle, and you don't have negative emotions, and you don't have this, ups and downs. Yo, they appreciated me, they got the applause, people invited me. Oh, nobody wants me, nobody appreciate me, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. It kills young people in the social media. It kills them because it's all about them. It's not about the content that they are bringing. If the content is the idea and the pleasure of doing the content, and we're talking about today from the age of 12, or I think 13, 14. If you're not thinking about the content, you won't be able. First of all, it will get you into depression if you'll succeed, and if you won't succeed, you will feel, okay, it's not for me, or I'm not. You will have underestimate yourself. So those are the two enemies that waiting for you if you are too much busy about yourself.
Yeah. And I think, we talked about the in the moment. What do we do in the moment, and what do we do like between the moments to teach our children? I think one of the most powerful things in the moment is this change of mindset, because I think that many parents, I think the biggest issue for parents is their children's emotional outbursts, and that they cannot handle it, that they get so triggered and then they get emotional and angry and yell and punish and whatever. And I think, like, when you're able to change that perspective, because why do we get angry actually? Why do we get so emotional? We get so emotional because we think, what are we thinking at the time when my child is now on the floor screaming and crying, or
I'm
my
not
child is
good.
depressed, not getting out of the room? What are you thinking? You're thinking, oh, I did something wrong,
Mhm.
right? Oh, there is something wrong with him.
Beautiful.
It's all these worrying thoughts that just get you so overwhelmed with emotions, so you cannot handle the situation. And if you're able to change your mindset and say, okay, now these negative emotions are here. This is not who he is. This doesn't define who my child is. This doesn't define me. To disconnect that this connection between ourselves and the emotions can help us stay grounded. And if we're grounded, we will know what to do. The problem is that we get so overwhelmed with emotions, so we can't handle the situation. But if we're able to
Beautiful.
disconnect ourselves from it and understand this is not us, this is not them, then we will know what to do. We will know what to say in the moment. And I think that's such a important thing to understand, because if you just understand how this all works, how your soul works, right? Then it's a completely different way of being around your children. And if you adopt that psychological lens that we talked about before, where, oh, this is him, these negative emotions are part of him, I need to accept that. So, okay, what do I do with this now? It's like
Uh,
I have nothing to do. It puts you in a very victim mindset place where you just, okay, this is part of who he is. This is part of who I am. I have nothing to do about this. It keeps you stuck.
Mhm. It's great. It's wonderful. I have a comprehension, a comparison that will help you, get those in the moment to understand what the ideas that you put in are in the moment. Now, when the child is in depression, I feel okay. I can feel it's hard. It is heartening me so much because I feel, as you said before, that I'm the blame. The blame is on me. I was a worst parent. I screamed on him when he was young, etc., etc. The idea is like that. There is you can compare between the mind and the emotions. You can compare the mind and the emotions to the parent and the child. The mind is like a parent. The child is like the emotion. That means, how do the mind navigate the emotions? The mind is cold, as you said at the beginning, is objective. It's ask one question: what is really needed over here? What's the
Mhm.
truth of the thing here? What should I do right now? Now the child is screaming. The child is in anxiety. The child doesn't matter. What really the mind asks? What should I do? What is really the truth here? What is being needed? When you ask yourself those questions and not the blame is on me, then the parent has negative emotions because he's now thinking about himself, not about the child. I was not good. The blame is on me. I was a bad parent. It's all about you. Forget about yourself. The mind does not have ego. Only the emotions have ego. They are thinking when I have emotions, it's about me. The mind is very objective, as we said. It's thinking about trying to understand the point over here. So the more as a parent you remember that your role is like a mind to a little bit to cold a little bit the situation, to bring, what is colding? Objectivity bring coldness. Emotions bring warmness. So you have to bring a little bit coldness to understand it, to never, 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 never adopt pessimistic, depressed point of view. Nothing will never get down, never get them down. No, you won't succeed. No, we are stuck. Don't bring it on. Even if you are feeling like that, don't bring it on. Even if you are in economical situation that you feel that it's very hard for you, leave it within yourself or with your wife. Don't bring it to the child. Then, if you would bring it, don't ask why the children are suffering from anxiety. Why? Because all the year it's the situation. Oh, it's very bad. No, it's very weak now. No, we cannot succeed. No, no customers are getting into the store. Whatever, doesn't matter the situation. So this is the first thing. Think as a mind, the way the mind navigate, and then how the mind can show, as we said before, show the emotions, good things. Show them the good thing. The optimistic point of view, what they can be, the potential. It's very important. Doesn't matter what you did until now. What will happen from now? You cannot change the past. You can change it through bringing a better future. And usually, a better future, we didn't speak about it in length. Maybe next time, it's connected to happiness. You cannot be a good
Mm.
parent if you are not bringing happiness to the table, to your house. It's the major way that you can um, really evaluate if there is a good parenting over here. If the house is happy, that means something good is happening there. What I'm saying happy is not about smiling all of the time, and it could be, but this is not the case. Happiness is connected to positivity, to seeing the optimistic opportunities, to really believe that good things are going to happen.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
It
I
was
think we
great.
broke down a lot of
Mhm.
things today,
Yeah.
and it was very important to understand in a more deeper way how our emotions work and what we can do about them in the moment, between the moments as parents, and this was very, very helpful. And I'm excited to learn more next time, maybe dive into specific emotions, because through Avodat Amidot, this work on our emotions through Judaism,
Mhm.
there is a very specific way of dealing with each one of the emotions. So maybe we can next time dive
Maybe we
deeper
can
into that.
we can start maybe with a positive emotion. With even though happiness is not emotion, it's a state of mind. that
And
influence your emotion. Maybe you can start with happiness because it is connected to next month is Adar, and we are getting close to Purim. Maybe it's right, but you will decide. I'll leave it to you.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it's more than important. It's life saving when you understand that and when you implement that in your life. I can say about myself, without learning those ideas, if I could learn those ideas when I was at 12 and not at the age of 32, oh, I would save so many years that I felt like I don't know what is my trajectory in life, where I take myself, and all kinds of things. And it saves you when you get into that. So thank you very much for the opportunity to
Yeah.
speak about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yehiel. And I'm looking forward for our next conversation.
Great.